Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Hamburger Hill. I'm starting in the bottom right and I'm playing as the Allies. On this map, many would say the bottom right position is the best position. The thing about the bottom right is that it's got gems located nearby. And there's only 3 positions which have gems nearby. And the other 2 positions that have gems are in bad positions in terms of they can be attacked from different angles. Whereas in the bottom right, you're quite sheltered. And as you can see now, what I'm doing is I'm just doing some scouting to the left of my base, because quite often there is a person who spawns just to the left. Now there's 5 people in this match, so some of the spaces will be blank, and it looks like there's no one to the left of my base, which is quite lucky. And what that means is I can go for a more economic strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 2 ore trucks when I build my 2 war factories. And then I'm going to go for a 3 war factory start. So I can build a lot of tanks, and that really will help me into the mid game. Usually what happens for the person in the bottom right, though, is they're in an early engagement with the person to the left. Because the bases are so close to each other. And usually a person from the bottom right will win because they have access to the gems. But not having that person there does make it a lot easier for me. And I'm just going to need to scout out the other parts of the map and see where the other players are. Now Orange is a good player, he's ranked 40 something on quick match. So he is very, very good. And I'm just... You can see that there's not many places that people could get into my base, so it's very easy to defend from a scouting point of view. They can only go through those 2 little paths at the top of my base, and to the left of my base it's very, very narrow. So that's going to mean, hopefully as long as I don't mess up, that they're going to have a very hard time getting in and getting any visibility on my base and what I'm doing. And I don't want them to see what I'm doing at the moment, because I am going for 3 ore trucks early on, and it will mean my startup with tanks is a bit slower than it could be. But I do doubt that people from the left are going to come for me, because they're going to be too worried about the people close to them. And you can see I've got a bit of visibility on Red's base. He's starting in the bottom left. And I'm also going to check the middle position as well. We already know that Green is just above me, and it looks like the middle position is blank too, which is really good for me because it means that there's only 2 players on the right of the map and 3 players are on the left of the map. So they're going to be very, very preoccupied with each other. And you can see now I've got my 3rd war factory down, so I'm going to be building tanks at a really fast rate. And this is so far so good. I am, however, going to be needing to build another ore refinery because those gems aren't going to last a long time, certainly with 3 ore trucks on them. And I'm going to get a couple of ore trucks to work on the ore patch below me, and what I'm going to need to build early on in this case is a service depot, because I'm going to want to get an MCV to the left of my base and make use of those other ore patches and maybe even that gem patch in the middle. So that's really something on my mind at the moment. So I'm getting my service depot quite early on. And I'm just trying to redirect some of my ore trucks here, because you can see the ones I've just built for my war factory, which I wanted to go down to the south, are not there at the moment.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost.
And you can see my service depot is almost being complete, and as soon as that service depot comes down, I'll be able to start building my MCV.
Unit lost. New construction options.
And yep, there I'm.
Unit lost.
And yeah, you can see I've just redirected those 3 ore trucks. Oof, and that's a bad misplay by me there. I wasn't watching my tanks up there. That was a bit stupid of me. And when I was sending them to the base, I was a bit distracted by the service depot. So that's a bad play by me. And it does look like Green now has maybe the tank advantage. So I'm going to try and micro, maybe kill some of his tanks. And actually, while I'm at his base, I'll probably go for the MCV and maybe get the MCV kill. It'll slow him down. And you can see he's gone for a 3 war factory start. And that's very surprising for me, looking at his base at the moment, because he doesn't seem to have a thriving economy. And you do need a really good economy to be able to support production from 3 war factories. So I don't know if that was a bit early. Let's have a look up here. Yeah, you can see that Green hasn't expanded to the ore patch above. he's only got one ore refinery. So this is a very strange play from Green here, having those 3 war factories, because surely he can't be getting any benefit from them. And you can see that Green is sending his tanks down to my base. And now I've got my MCV, I'm going to be sending that to a middle, and I'm going to be building an ore refinery. So I can make use of that other gem patch, now that the gem patch by my base is almost gone. And you can see he's just getting a bit of scouting. Of course, he wasn't able to get any scouts in early. And it looks like he's going for my MCV. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy this as quickly as possible. And what that'll mean is I won't lose... Because what will happen... Yeah, I've lost my MCV. I should have sold it. Unfortunately, I was a bit slow on that. But what I was going to say was I needed to get that deployed quickly, because otherwise I was going to lose my ore refinery. I'll just sell that one. Hopefully it'll give me enough to buy that extra ore refinery, and then I'll be on the mining gems again. Yeah, and I'm going to get a drop off, so I'll be able to get that ore refinery down. And I'm just going to go straight on to building another ore refinery at this point in time. Right, his tanks didn't seem like he was interested in taking an engagement there, so I'm going to go for his base. Because now that I've got this extra base, I can afford to lose my own base. And another thing about this game is it's on destroy all. So even if I destroy his base, he will still have tanks left. His tanks will still be able to destroy my base. But now that I've got that extra one, hopefully I'll be okay. And I might be able to get back, hopefully, to defend my own base. But I'm just going to need to destroy him now because it's taking too long. And the longer we wait, the more chance there is for someone from the right side of the map attacking us. So you can see we've got rid of his base. My base is in pretty bad shape at the moment, actually. And I think I'm going to have to build a war factory. Yeah, I'm probably better off selling this, actually. So I'm going to sell this base. He's seen my service depot, so he knows that I have potential to have another MCV. And I'm going to bring my tanks back here. That MCV should be in a decent position to defend. I just need to get my tanks to the other side of that bottleneck. And from the chat, I can see that some of the other teams on the left are being cleaned up. Yellow is out of the game now, and it sounds like, yeah, orange is as well. So that means there's only red on the left-hand side of the map. So I'm going to have to be really careful at this point because, yeah, there's only red. So I'm going to need to build up as quickly as possible and get back to producing tanks, because red could build a substantial force while this is happening. Getting my second base though up against the gem patch is quite nice because it's going to give me gems, so I'm going to be hopefully able to build up a bit quickly. The problem is at the moment I'm not able to spend those gems because I don't have enough war factories. So I'm getting my second war factory down now, and you can see I'm going to have to keep an eye on Green because I think he's just yeah, lurking about trying to wait for an opening. And yeah, he's going for the engagement now, but I think I've got enough tanks easily to defend against this. And he's probably figured out that I've got another base now, and you can see he's pulling his tanks back. And you can see that red is coming across the map now. As we said, red are the only team on the left of the map now, and he's going to the bottom right. He obviously doesn't have much visibility, and now he's going up to the north. And yeah, he hasn't took the engagement, and he's lost quite a few tanks there, actually. That was quite a bad engagement for him. I did pick up quite a few tanks there, and that was Green's last of his forces. So I'm going to follow red a little bit. I don't know how much. It sounded like that yellow and orange were fighting between themselves, and we can see that red, he looks like his base hasn't really been touched that much. I think the other teams above him were fighting each other, and it does look like red was relatively free to do whatever he wanted. So he does have quite a big force at the moment, although we can't see that much in his base right now. But he must have pulled all his tanks right back. And you can see he's trying to pull a few tanks through here. This is probably a bad position for him to be in. And you can see I'm getting a few tank kills as well. And this is just chipping away at his tank numbers. If he keeps on taking bad engagements, I'll be able to just keep on chipping away. And I've got my second ore refinery down, which was important. Having one ore refinery means your ore trucks are very susceptible to getting jammed. And you can see he's got quite a few tanks there, so I am going to pull back. And you can see he's coming from the north while I've been building back up my base. he's managed to pull a few tanks around here, and it looks like he's going to possibly go for my MCV, and that's what he does do. So this is going to be quite bad because I can't build another construction yard, and because my other war factories were built after my service depot was gone. And he's going to go for a war factory, but I should be able to get his tanks down here. And you can see that Green is coming in with the ore truck blocks. He's using his own ore trucks to block my ore trucks, but I'm able to deal with them okay. Right, and it seems that Red have a force here, and let's see what they're going to do now. And it looks like he's going to go for my base, and he's trying to push his tanks through all my tanks, and this is working out really, really badly for him. And I think he's realised that it's not going to work, but that's substantial, that is substantial. I must have got at least 10 plus tanks there. Because he had a really good force, and he would have probably been better just fighting. You can see he's got tanks left at his base. He probably would have been better taking everything he had and just fighting my tanks head on. And now we can see he's taking some of his tanks north, so he's deciding to split his force again. He's going to take those tanks north and try and come round the outside to my base. But this means he's leaving his base undefended, so I'm going to be able to just walk in and destroy it here. You have to remember though, I don't have a construction yard, so I can't really afford to lose too many buildings. But while he's doing that, I'm just sending some tanks back to my base, and I'm going to destroy his base. And you can see he's not moving his tanks around at all, so I'm getting a good trade-off with his tanks as well. And we're being able to kill quite a few tanks here, because I think he's using his units going around the outside, and he's took his eye completely off the ball. He's obviously watching because he was repairing his war factory there. But this is looking better and better for me because... Yeah, and you can see I've got quite a few tanks to defend my base if he does come. Actually, I'm going to move them up there just to that path, because he probably will try and take his tanks through there, or he'll have to take them up and down past my tanks. And you can see this is looking really good for me now. I'm getting his war factory down, and you can see his base is very, very compact. And it's possibly not the best way to play. Usually what you want to do is you want to spread out your base a bit more so you can expand to other ore patches, because you can see those ore trucks are having to travel an awful long way to get back to the ore refinery, so it's quite inefficient. But we can see he's got a service depot, so he could have built an extra MCV. I'm going to take out his information centre. Now that'll probably be big because he would have satellite at this point, I would think. And you can see he's got a few tanks back to my base, but you can see they were getting destroyed up at the north quite a bit when he was trying to get them past that group of tanks. And we can see him taking his MCV up north. And that is his main base destroyed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wind on the video, because the rest of the game was just me chasing his units around the map. He didn't really have anything else left. As you can see, I was just running around the map. And this was the end of the game when he had a couple of tanks left and he tried to do a sneak attack, but no cigar. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.